Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to talk about the 2025 Snow White put out by Disney, starring Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler. It's a major cultural event, and it's a big deal. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So what I want to so I was listening to Grace Randolph talk about this film, and she did very careful coverage of this. She literally, broke in and like gave coverage of the Thursday night box office. Normally, she'll wait until Sunday to talk about the total box office. She was covering the box office literally every single day, from opening night on Thursday to Friday to Saturday to Sunday. It's pretty incredible. Like she was covering this in incredible myopic detail, and the reason why is this isn't just another movie. This is an event in the history of Disney, and this is an event in the history of America, and it's important, right? It's important to our culture, it's important to our history, it's important to our politics, it's important to our art, it's important to our global positioning. It's extremely important. So Grace was talking about it on Sunday. It only made $43 million, and we got to the point where it was, it made $43 million on opening weekend, which is terrible. There's almost no possibility this movie will make even a dime of profit, and the only question now is how much money it's going to lose for Disney. However, Grace also said that might not be a problem in any way for Disney. Disney is widely, soundly hated across America, and it doesn't matter. Disney is the only studio to produce $1 billion film in the only studio to produce $1 billion film in 2024, and they didn't just produce one; they produced three. So every other studio in the world failed to produce $1 billion film, and Disney produced three. Right, so they're fine. Like it's not gonna be a problem, right? Like they don't really have any real competitors in the movie making space. Like they have $3 billion films for 2024. Literally all their competitors combined have nothing. Goose egg, right? That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. So then what Grace talked about is she said the problem was the narrative around the film overshadowed the narrative of the film. So this is supposed to be the story of Snow White, right? And her epic battle against the evil queen. But instead, it was the story of Israeli champion Gal Gadot against Palestinian champion Rachel Zegler. It was the story of those two women despising each other so much that they created the next Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively, no crossover in the promotion. These women paid millions of dollars, would not go on tour together, right? I think they had a single photo together at the Oscars, and then we're like, I don't want to talk to her, I don't want to do her. And this isn't like, and this was shocking when you see a Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande together, hugging, crying, holding each other's hands, laughing together, emoting together, sitting together, hugging together. And these two women are like, I don't care how many millions you give me. I'm Rachel Zegler. I will not be in a room with Gal Gadot. I'm Gal Gadot. I will not be in a room with Rachel Zegler. I despise that woman, even though we're both millionaires and we paid millions of dollars for this movie. You could pay me, you could double, triple, you can give me $100 million. I won't be in that, And just saying, hey, everybody, we want you to understand Hollywood is about hatred. Hollywood is about isolation. Hollywood is about vitriol, right? Like it's a and this is a movie for little girls, right? Like to be inspired, right? Like it's for like harmony and love and justice, and they're like, no, we hate each other. This political divide is far more important than anything in the film. That's incredible, right? So where does this connect to Dungeons and Dragons? What's really fascinating is Dungeons and Dragons has inverted this, right? So basically, Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler were engaged. They were brought in by Disney to make this movie a success. and they're like, we don't really care about making this movie a success. We want to use this as our own political platforms. We want to forward our own ambitions, and we really don't care about the crew, about anybody else who worked on this movie. This is about us, and this is about the world knowing that we're rock star celebrities and we get what we want, and we don't have to be kind or harmonious to anyone, right? And setting a new level of behavior for young girls everywhere, right? Saying, hey, fighting women, that's the future, right? Even if you pay us millions of dollars to be together and harmonious, women fighting women is the future, right? And you're like, what? Like it's shocking. It is really shocking. But Dungeons and Dragons has come along and completely inverted this. And what I find really fascinating is I am a Dungeons and Dragons dungeon master, and I am a Dungeons and Dragons dragon master, right? I'm both a player, and I run the world, and I run a player character. Right? I'm on both sides, the dungeon master side and the dragon master side. Where this gets really interesting, right, is Dungeons and Dragons has done the same thing as Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, but for good, where they did it for evil, right? And the evil really did work. Like, this tanked easily $1 billion film. There's almost no possibility this will make $1 billion at this point. And this could have been the first $3 billion film. Like, there were a lot of people excited for the Snow White story, but these two really made it about themselves and really set up a banner saying the future is women fighting women. Millionaire women, powerful women, beautiful women, independent women fighting women. That's the future, right? And you're like, what? Like, is this really the hill you want to stand on? And they're like, yeah, this is absolutely the hill we want to stand on. Strong, powerful women despising each other and making sure that the world knows it, and saying, hey, women don't have to be harmonious. Women don't have to support women, even if they were paid millions of dollars to do exactly that, right? We can be strong and independent and despise each other and carry a banner of hate for every little girl in the world. That is astonishing, right? But D&D has flipped this, right? So I think that what's happened with Dungeons & Dragons is the narrative surrounding Dungeons & Dragons has overshadowed the game of Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons is... So I'm at the table, right? Every Sunday, right? Come in, the dice drop, books are on the table, people are there, run Dungeons & Dragons, right? Play Dungeons & Dragons. Run the world, run the player character. That's it. That's Dungeons & Dragons, right? But increasingly, that is being far overshadowed. Dungeons & Dragons the narrative around Dungeons & Dragons has far overshadowed the game, right? There are a lot more people talking about Stranger Things. There's a lot more people talking about Joseph Quinn as Eddie Munson. There are a lot of people talking about books like The Dustin Experience, which goes into deep discussion about Dungeons & Dragons connected to Stranger Things. There are literally, not a joke, millions of Lego fans who have never played Dungeons & Dragons who are going out and seeking Dungeons & Dragons miniatures, right? Getting Lego Red Dragon's Tail at $360 a set, right? Going out and collecting every single Lego Dungeons & Dragons collectible minifigure, right? Literally have no connection to Dungeons & Dragons, but are pursuing Dungeons & Dragons and building profit for Dungeons & Dragons, and the narrative surrounding Dungeons & Dragons is far overshadowing the game of Dungeons & Dragons. But where Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler did it for evil, Dungeons & Dragons is doing it for good, right? And then it goes so much farther. Yahtzee and Baldur's Gate and Yahtzee and video games and Funko Pops and the list just goes on and on and on. Sneakers and socks and hats and blankets and stamps, literally, like government officials putting Dungeons and Dragons stamps on laws that get shipped, right? And laws, like there are U.S. government laws that apply to Dungeons and Dragons because Dungeons and Dragons was literally written into the U.S. government stamp, which some people use as a currency, right? Incredible, right? So where Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler meant it for evil, Dungeons and Dragons has inverted the model and is doing it for good. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider like, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.